When history repeats itself, it rarely announces the sequel. Every generation of leaders begins with confidence that their next war will be faster, cleaner, and easier than the one before. The same words echo across centuries. It will be over by Christmas. Yet wars have a way of rewriting their own timelines. This story explores why nations, especially powerful ones, so often believe their wars will be short, why those predictions fail, and what lessons history keeps trying to teach us. At the start of almost every major conflict, leaders imagine precision, quick victory, and a clear exit. In 1914, European powers thought the First World War would last a few months. In 1964, Washington believed limited bombing would force peace in Vietnam. In 1979, the Soviet Union planned a brief intervention in Afghanistan. Each time, the same pattern appeared: overconfidence built on technology, underestimation of local realities, and the illusion that modern power can overcome geography and willpower. The result, almost always, was surprise. The psychology behind the short war illusion begins with the human tendency to underestimate resistance. Modern societies measure success through speed, efficiency, and control. Military planners often project those values onto war, imagining that planning and precision can substitute for patience and understanding. Political leaders prefer short wars because they look decisive and limit public criticism. Strategists promise fast results to win approval. Once the conflict begins, reality intrudes to reign. Culture, morale, and logistics stretch time far beyond expectation. History shows this miscalculation again and again. In 1914, German generals crafted the Schlieffen Plan, a lightning strike designed to end the Great War in 6 weeks. Instead, it produced 4 years of trench warfare and millions of casualties. The same optimism reappeared in 1941 when European powers once again believed they could subdue entire continents quickly. In each case, speed was imagined, endurance decided the outcome. In the 20th century, the United States became the world's most technologically advanced power, confident that precision could replace attrition. When American strategists entered conflicts abroad, they often assumed that superior training, resources, and weapons would ensure a swift victory. Early successes seemed to confirm that belief. Quick campaigns in places like Grenada and Kuwait reinforced the idea that the age of long wars was over. The image of shock and awe promised that dominance from the air could decide wars in days, not years. But history does not bend to optimism. When wars extend into unfamiliar landscapes, mountains, jungles, deserts, technology meets its limits. Supply chains lengthen, local populations respond unpredictably, and victory becomes less about weapons than about understanding. The illusion of a short war is shattered not by defeat, but by duration. The longer a war lasts, the more its purpose blurs, and the harder it becomes to define what winning actually means. The case of Afghanistan, historically called the graveyard of empires, offers a powerful lesson. For over 2 centuries, global powers from the British to the Soviets to modern coalitions teared the region expecting limited campaigns. They faced geography that defied logistics and local societies that resisted control. Each intervention began with confidence and ended with fatigue. Geography itself became the great equalizer. Mountains, deserts, and complex tribal networks turned short wars into long tests of endurance. For students of history, Afghanistan is not just a location, but a reminder that ambition must respect terrain and culture. The pattern extends far beyond one region. In Vietnam, U.S. planners imagined that air power and advisors could stabilize a government within months. The reality was a drawn-out struggle where determination outlasted strategy. In the Soviet experience in Afghanistan, leaders assumed they could restore order quickly. 10 years later, withdrawal became inevitable. Each case followed the same rhythm: initial success, mounting challenges, strategic confusion, and a costly exit. Why does the short war illusion persist? Because modern powers live in the age of instant results. Technology has shortened communication, travel, and production time. It's easy to assume it can also shorten conflict, yet war remains human, unpredictable, and tied to geography and psychology forces that ignore deadlines. Leaders and citizens alike often prefer optimistic forecasts because they simplify complex realities. The political cost of a long war is high, while the emotional reward of believing in a quick one is immediate. Another reason lies in history's selective memory. Victories are remembered, stalemates are forgotten. In the textbooks, wars appear as sequences of decisive battles and clear turning points. In reality, progress is uneven, often invisible. Generals and governments use past victories as templates, forgetting that each new conflict unfolds under different conditions. When planners rely on analogies instead of analysis, they repeat mistakes disguised as lessons. Progress in warfare does not always mean progress in understanding. New weapons, data, and doctrines improve precision, but cannot replace context. Every war depends on human factors, language, culture, terrain, morale, that resist automation. The belief in a short war often comes from the idea that technology can solve political problems. But technology can only shape how battles are fought, not why they are fought or how they end. When nations enter war expecting speed, they build strategies around exit rather than endurance. Resources are allocated for months, not years. Diplomacy is treated as an afterthought. This creates a paradox. The very plan meant to ensure speed guarantees delay. Once initial objectives are achieved, leaders face the unplanned reality of governing, rebuilding, or securing what they conquered. Wars then transform into open-ended missions with unclear goals, draining morale and legitimacy. The illusion of quick victory also shapes public perception. Media coverage at the beginning of a war often amplifies confidence, showing early gains and technological superiority. As time passes and progress slows, coverage shifts toward skepticism. Public patience fades. Democracies, in particular, struggle with long wars because citizens expect accountability and visible results. Leaders promise short wars not only to reassure themselves, but to maintain public support. From a purely educational perspective, understanding these patterns is essential. It helps future policymakers, historians, and citizens recognize that confidence is not strategy. History rewards those who prepare for complexity. The British Empire's experience in Afghanistan during the 19th century, the US experience in Vietnam in the 20th, and the Soviet experience later all demonstrate how terrain and willpower can outweigh material superiority. The lesson is universal. Entering a conflict is always easier than ending one. There are also moments of achievement within these long struggles. Advances in logistics, medicine, and international cooperation. Prolonged wars often push nations to innovate. Medical evacuation systems, communication technologies, and international law all advance through wartime necessity. Yet those achievements came at immense cost, reminding us that progress in war is rarely worth the price. The failures, on the other hand, are instructive. Each long war exposes the limits of prediction. It shows how difficult it is to align military goals with political outcomes. The world's greatest powers have often been humbled, not by defeat in battle, but by the realization that victory alone does not equal stability. The longer a war lasts, the clearer it becomes that strategy must include not just how to win, but how to leave. For educators, this is where history meets critical thinking. Why do intelligent leaders repeat the same optimistic errors? Because human psychology resists uncertainty. It is easier to imagine control than to manage chaos. The short war illusion is comforting. Long-term planning is daunting. Every generation inherits the same choice between idealism and realism. In academic terms, this phenomenon is sometimes called the planning fallacy, the tendency to underestimate time and cost, even when aware of past experience. Applied to warfare, it becomes a pattern of institutional overconfidence. Military organizations, built to project capability, are often reluctant to acknowledge limitations. Political institutions, built on public approval, prefer optimism to caution. Together, they create a feedback loop that makes short war thinking almost inevitable. But understanding the pattern allows societies to break it. Studying the long arc of conflicts teaches that preparation must include patience. Strategy must respect terrain and culture as much as technology. Diplomacy should begin before the first shot, not after. Wars, once started, take on lives of their own. The best victories are those avoided through foresight. Modern education about warfare now emphasizes systems thinking, how logistics, psychology, culture, and communication interact. A short war mindset focuses on battles. A long war mindset focuses on sustainability. Students who analyze historical cases like the Great War, Vietnam, or Afghanistan discover recurring themes: optimism, resistance, adaptation, and endurance. They learn that geography and human will remain stronger forces than prediction models. The greatest lesson history offers is humility. No empire, however advanced, has mastered the ability to control the pace of war. Technology changes, but uncertainty does not. Those who study the past with honesty see that every confident beginning hides the possibility of a long struggle. The illusion of the short war is not just a mistake, it's a mirror reflecting human impatience and the desire to simplify complexity. In the classroom, educators use these examples to encourage critical analysis of planning, communication, and cultural awareness. Understanding why past leaders believed in quick victories helps prevent future ones from repeating the same assumptions. The study of history, in this way, becomes a tool for peace. By the time you finish watching this documentary, one truth should stand out. The length of a war is rarely determined by the strength of an army, but by the depth of understanding. Geography, history, and human resilience write timelines that no planner can shorten. The most successful nations are those that learn this before, not after the first battle begins. For viewers and students, the key takeaway is not pessimism, but realism. Confidence can be a virtue, but in history, humility often wins. The best way to end wars quickly is to understand why they start, to respect the complexity of the world, and to value patience over pride. Every map, every decision, and every generation teaches the same lesson. Time, not power, is the ultimate strategist.